I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Dolphins come away with a 7-point win. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Edgerrin James will have a new place to call home as he accepts a new contract. 2 years, $5.3 million, plus a $1.6 million signing bonus. Orpheus Roy is on the move as well as he signs a 3-year contract with the Browns.
Spencer had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Seahawks pick up win number 2. Barker had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Saints beat the Buccaneers. Way up in the northern plains in Minnesota, we had the Vikings fall by 10 points. Over at 3Com Park, we had the 49ers come away with a 7-point win. Falcons, Bills.
Brett Favre is at the opponent's 29-yard line. He swings out as a safety valve. Look at him do this. The defense never saw him. Touchdown.
The Bills go on to win this by the final score of 27-20. The Jets got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Gillette Stadium. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
Over now to news of a trade that might have some ramifications. Corey Dillon leaves the Patriots and heads to the Falcons. And it's clear this was an area of their football team that needed somebody. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. D'Angelo Hall is a guy that ought to be able to fit right in with his new club, and he should make his presence felt over time.
The Ravens won at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Dolphins. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. Fleming might be the biggest loss on this list. Tests at the stadium revealed a broken kneecap, so he'll be out for 12 weeks. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Gibbs had another good performance in the win and showed us why he's ranked up at the top of the league. Colts, Broncos.
Chris Brown is in the backfield. The ball is at the 40-yard line, and the lead man throws a block, shakes off one tackle, bounces outside. Now it's a foot race. The 10, the 5, touchdown.
The Colts win this one by the final score of 24-17. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Jaguars pick up win number 2. Justin Gage had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Bears beat the Lions. And last but not least, we had the Rams come away victorious. So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my prime-time players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.